Rolling, by the way. There. Don't say anything incriminating about wolf penises.
Wolf penises.
Wolf penises. Clayton's not going to squirm about wolf penises.
No. Wait, what's wrong with the wolf penis? What are you talking about?
One of our episodes.
Multiple episodes.
It's kind of a running joke, and we use it to make Andrew, our bass player, squirm.
Yeah.
Why? You don't like it's just a wolf penis weird to you?
I don't
know, yeah.
Well, it was funny because he's like, hey, let's not talk about wolf penises on this episode. So the first thing I say is like, so Andrew, how's the wolf penises going? I don't remember what I said, but yeah, it's like, don't tell me not to say something. I'm going to say it. It's like daring me not to say it. Like, you shouldn't have brought it up, and then we'll not talk about it.
And then he briefly tried to get into it, and he's just like, Sean, what's your favorite type of wolf penis?
And I said the erect ones. But yeah. No, so that's kind of funny that we knew someone that lived in that
same house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they had elf posters.
Elf penises.
Elf penises.
We reviewed one of the Elf albums.
We did.
And
first season?
Yep. With Adam.
I don't think I've ever listened to that album, the Elf album.
It's really good. It's like boogie woogie rock.
Yeah, it was different than I thought it would be. Yeah.
Well, I guess when
he founded that band too. I'm pretty sure that was like his vision.
Well, I guess when I think of Dio, I think of like,
Dio.
Like the heavy metal.
Have you listened to this album before?
It's been a long time.
This record?
It's been a long time since like high school.
Been a long time. When I was growing up. I do have an antidote about
to wolf
this
penises.
record. No, about this record specifically from when I was growing up. Nothing gay. All right, you win with the gay stuff. Well, listen to Black Sabbath.
Well, when it comes to Dio, it's the gay stuff. No.
Dio is the gay stuff. I think Tony Martin's probably the quote-unquote gayer stuff. Maybe.
Probably.
Dave, you know Tony Martin album. What do you think?
Which one was it? Headless Cross, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the best one, though.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty good.
It's the best of the worst.
It's not... I would say the last two Ozzy records were worse than Headless Cross.
Oh,
like the Technical Ecstasy, yeah.
I would agree. I put Headless Cross in like an upper echelon of Sabbath albums. Where like a top 10, probably.
Yeah. Do you know what label Headless Cross is on?
Oh, isn't it on IRS?
Yeah. Correct, yeah.
Because we talked about it. We thought it was funny that it was on the same label as REM.
Yeah.
And
that's funny.
Black Sabbath was whining that they didn't promote the album, and it's like, it's an indie label.
Yeah.
I actually, that's funny. I watched Vanilla Sky today, and that movie has a lot of REM in it. I had never seen it before. Yeah. It's one of those movies I knew existed but just never watched.
It's one of those movies that I watched while playing Diablo 3 at a LAN party at like 4 a.m. So it's a fever dream to me. I don't remember a whole lot about it.
The last 45 minutes of that movie are kind of a fever dream, and I liked it. It was good. It was weird though. It was very like I don't know if I've seen like a ton of Cameron Crowe movies, but I didn't expect him to make that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell when he dies. Like it. Oh, spoiler alert for a movie that's like, 20-something years old.
God damn it, Sean! Yeah. This makes the tape.
Yeah.
Vanilla Sky.
Vanilla Sky.
What if we do a podcast where we make Steve watch movies that, one of us has just seen and the other two of us barely remembers? That Steve has never seen.
But I watched it 2 hours ago, so it's fresh.
Yeah, you can tell the point when he dies is like when the sky it's all like bright.
When it becomes Vanilla Sky.
Yeah, when she wakes.
Well, they explain it at the end of the movie. He's like, literally they have a guy come in and is like, this is what all the crazy shit was in the movie. And that almost turned me off. I was like, a lot of people talk about how ambiguous the ending is, but I was like, I found it.
It would have been better if it was more ambiguous.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
People
I feel like they shouldn't. That dude over-explained the ending.
Exactly. Like that was the part I didn't like. Like the complaints I'd heard, all I heard was complaints about it. Throughout my whole life, about how confusing it is and how ambiguous like the ending is. And I'm like, I thought it was pretty easy to understand. And the guy comes on the screen and explains the entire movie to you at the end.
Yeah.
Like literally a random guy is just like, this is what happened.
See, I thought Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind was better.
Yeah.
It was.
I'll probably remember that better, but yeah.
I think it was kind of doing almost kind of the same concept as.
I don't know. I think Eternal Sunshine is more like that's like a kind of a romance. But Vanilla Sky is not really a romance.
No,
it's not really a romance.
To be a romance, it has to be like happier about the love story. Yeah.
Well, she's like, we had sex 4 times. I ate your cum. I remember.
I love that part.
That part was hilarious.
When she's like, that's actually the part when the movie turns, and I was like, oh, this is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
And when he was like, she's just like talking. She's like, your new brunette girlfriend. You came 4 times. I ate your cum, you bitch.
Shall we?
Shan't we?
Yes.
Shan't we?
Hello, and welcome to Side 1, Side B. I'm Steve.
I'm Dave.
I'm 7-inch Sean.
And I'm Clayton.
Clayton! 12-inch Clayton.
12-inch Clayton. As they call me.
10-inch Clayton.
And it's that time of the podcast where I bring in an album from a band that I glaze all the time because they're my favorite.
Have we ever done a season where we haven't talked about Black Sabbath?
Nope. And
Or
last
Black
season we
Sabbath.
basically talked about them twice since we did Speak of the Devil.
Yeah.
So
True.
our first episode was a Black Sabbath album, a Tony Martin era album called Headless Cross. It's a very short episode because me and Dave didn't know what we were doing yet. And sometimes I'll see when people discover the podcast for the first time, you can tell because they'll click on the first episode. And I'm like, oh, what a terrible place to start.
Yeah. Have I ever repeated? I think I've repeated an artist, but I don't remember for sure now.
You've done Para Ubu twice.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You've done David Bowie twice.
Yes. And I think that's it.
Is that it? Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, today we're looking at Black Sabbath, specifically the Dio era, the first album of the Dio era, Heaven and Hell. Before we get into this, what other bands have done replaced their singer and it succeeded?
AC/DC.
Van Halen. I mean, succeeded is commercially.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I don't know if Van Hagar is like their creative peak, but they were just as big after.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say Sammy
they-
Hagar was pretty. Like,
Yeah, they were. The band was just as big with Sammy Hagar.
Black Flag.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
Yeah, they had like 7,000.
Yeah.
Let's see. I mean, AC/DC is like the gold standard of that, but that was because their lead singer died.
Yeah.
You
know, AC/DC was in an interesting position, I think, because they didn't really start taking off here until probably Highway to Hell, and then Back in Black just exploded. So a lot of people didn't even realize they changed singers.
Yeah.
Which is strange. I think they sound so different.
I do too, but my dad told me that my dad did not know AC/DC changed singers until I told him as an adult. So
I always thought the singer after Bon Scott sounded like he was aping him too much.
Brian Johnson.
Yes.
He's a pig cab driver, right?
Yeah.
That's what he sounds like.
Well,
Yeah.
it's funny. He was in another band, and if you listen to the album he was on, he sounds nothing like he does on the AC/DC album.
Yeah, because he sounds like a cartoon version of Bon Scott. It's not. I don't like his vocals. I like Bon Scott's.
Yeah,
I like
exactly.
Bon Scott just has a swagger to him that
Yeah.
Brian Johnson doesn't.
He was a sex symbol.
Yeah.
Brian
Yeah.
Johnson is not a sex symbol.
I think it's funny that for his audition, he asked to do a whole lot of Rosie, and the rest of the band thought that was weird.
I'm trying to think of
Why? They don't like.
I mean, that's a good song.
King Crimson has replaced vocalists a few times.
King Crimson has replaced all band members several times.
Except for Fripp. Fripp is the only constant member. And he has, I don't think he's ever sang on a record. I think he's just the guitar player. Because I don't think he likes his own voice.
Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, unsuccessfully though. Iron Maiden is always the one that I think of.
Oh yeah.
It seems to be a very risky maneuver because Iron Maiden, Judas Priest. Trying to think of some other bands that replaced high-profile singers, and it just completely flopped.
The Doors did the opposite and didn't replace Jim Morrison. They just went on as another band and they started singing the songs, and it's not good.
Well,
for next season, I got one of their albums.
Yeah.
The regular Doors.
Ooh, in the bad album season.
Yeah, the Back Doors.
The Back Doors. Oh, the one Velvet Underground album after
Squeeze.
is god awful
with Doug Yule.
Yeah, Doug Yule did a couple of lead vocals, well, like half of Loaded, like a couple songs on the self-titled, but like as the only lead vocalist or as like the frontman lead vocalist, it's bad.
Yeah, well, I've never listened to it because I'm not going to.
We're going to listen to it next season.
Oh, really?
We're going to stream it at least.
I was going to say, I've never even found like it on streaming services because
It's probably not.
Yar! You found it on streaming services?
No, I'm saying I'm going to pirate it.
Oh, okay.
For which record?
The
Squeeze. By
Velvet
Underground.
Yeah.
But
sorry, I thought we moved on.
No. I've heard people say that it would have been better if he would have just said it was a Doug Yule solo album.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to say it was a Velvet Underground. But I've heard Maureen Tucker's on it, though.
Yeah. When we do the bad album season, though, we're going to do Cut the Crap.
Deep Purple had a bunch of singers.
That one's pretty bad.
Yeah. It's not replacing the singer, but that's replacing
everyone else.
Yeah.
Like even like the We Are the Clash sucks. Yeah. Anyways.
This is England, though. The lead single from it, surprisingly good. But we're not talking about that yet.
Well, all right. Well, so we'll segue to a band that very successfully changed singers.
Once.
A couple times.
Successfully is broad, and
that's what I'm saying.
This is the successful singer change. Yeah, that's
well,
what
commercially this was successful. I don't think the Tony Martin era was commercially successful at all.
No,
that's what I'm
Headless
saying.
Cross was a good album.
Yeah. When they replaced him with Ian Gillan, I like that album. It's a fucking disaster.
Yeah.
But I think other than the one album with Dio, I think the rest of the albums didn't do well, did they?
No, not until they got Dio back again.
I think Mob Rules did okay.
Yeah, both this album and Mob Rules did really good.
Dehumanizer is the one I think that didn't do well and was not.
I thought it did well.
However, this is the first Black Sabbath album with like decent artwork.
Not the first, but the first in a
Sabbath
while.
Bloody Sabbath is amazing.
Yeah, Sabbath is sick.
The first album's amazing. I think the first album's like
I like Sabotage.
The first album is iconic.
Yeah. I like Sabotage too.
Technical Ecstasy is a pretty good cover, and Never Say Die is a really good cover, ironically.
Sabotage, they look like they're in their fucking pajamas.
Well, they kind of were, because they weren't expecting to...
Well, Bill Ward's in those red pants. I like that.
Okay.
In Tony's autobiography, he talked about how they showed up to that, and it was just... He thought it was like a planning session. And so they took the picture, like, that's, like, Bill Ward's is in his wife's tights. We don't know why Ozzy's in a kimono.
Yeah. Okay, Never Say Die. I don't think that's a good album cover.
I think
Technical
it's iconic.
With the jet fighters?
Yeah.
Why is that not good? They look cool.
It doesn't look like Sabbath.
No.
Also, I don't think Technical Ecstasy looks like Sabbath, but I think that would be a good album cover for Blue Oyster Cult or Hawkwind.
But it makes
I'm
sense
looking
because
at it right now. It doesn't look great.
Technical Ecstasy
right
is like their
That's two
synth
robots.
album.
Two robots. Fucking.
And Never Say Die is like their like heavy album.
I still say this is their best album cover.
That is sick. I would put it in I would put it in an echelon of
Like Sabbath, Black Sabbath, I agree, but my only problem with Sabbath, Black Sabbath is too yellow. Like they needed to like
this
break.
fucking guy, dude.
No,
This fucking guy, dude.
they just need to break up the color a little bit, and it would have been perfect.
But
But
red and orange isn't enough, huh?
yeah, it's like a little bit like too like blobby.
Disagree.
I think we can all agree though, Paranoid's cover is bad.
I think everyone
Iconic in its badness.
Yeah.
I think
it's goofy, but
I think even Sabbath.
I will say the first time I saw it, I thought it was stupid. So
I did too.
that's the cover for that song.
Yeah, great album. Although the one I'm least likely to listen to of their like classic era now because I've heard the first side so much. But yeah,
yeah, Masters of Reality is iconic in its simplicity too. I like how simple Masters of Reality is, but I think Heaven and Hell has the best cover.
Yeah, I'd say it's definitely up there. So,
anyways,
so yeah,
my controversial take for the whole fucking. I have a feeling like I shouldn't be sitting next to Clayton because he's gonna fucking punch me.
No, God, I'm not that offended about your choice in album cover. I just think you have no taste. That's the only thing.
He just thinks you're being pedestrian. You don't punch someone for being pedestrian.
Yeah, exactly. You're a ccivilian. That's
Well,
what. You're just a civilian. That's all.
Listen here, young man. I will fuck you up.
let's talk a bit about the two albums leading up to Heaven and Hell. So I listened to both Technical Ecstasy and Never Say Die a few times to get ready for this episode, and
I'm sorry.
No, I think they're really good albums.
Never Say Die.
I think they're good albums, not great albums. I think it's about half killer, half filler for both of them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What do you think, Clayton?
I'm not a huge Technical Ecstasy guy. I pretty much ignore it.
I mean, when I'm in the mood for Black Sabbath, that's never one I
Exactly.
pick. It's usually when I'm doing a marathon is when I listen to it.
I think Never Say Die gets a bad rap, though. I think that's got some killer songs on it.
It really does. Like the title track, I think is great.
Yeah, and then you know what it makes you think of? Jet fighters, dude. It makes you think of fucking jet fighters.
Hey, I think it has an awesome album cover. I'm dissenting from Dave on that one.
I think it's kind of dumb.
I have a shirt of that.
I actually think it's kind of dumb. I'm with Dave on that. I think it's jet fires. What the fuck is
Fucking
that about?
punks.
Yeah. It's kind of like
Jet Fighters are for like a Clash album cover.
it's kind of like that Megadeth album.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Wait, but that album cover's not that great.
No, it's not.
No, I don't know why you're comparing them. They're not
It's
helping.
about
Yeah.
the same fucking.
Oh yeah,
They're not helping the
since it's on a different wall, I think the Volume 4 album cover is kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, it works. Yeah.
Yeah. I like gold and black together. Anyway, that we're kind of moved past that in the conversation.
And you guys, Sean, you've never listened to him. And Dave, you tried and gave up. So,
Yeah. They just didn't. They didn't hit
I listened
me.
to them probably a long time ago, like when I was in high school. But I have been listening to Aussie radio on Ozzy's Boneyard.
Yeah.
On
Ozzy's Boneyard. On Sirius.
Ozzy's
on Sirius.
Boneyard.
Yeah, because my wife has Sirius radio in her car, and that's what we'll listen to. And so I've heard some tracks off of Technical Ecstasy and Never Say Die. So I've heard some tracks.
Well, like Dirty Women on Technical Ecstasy is fucking great. Like, that's probably the best song of the album. And Dave, I know you're at least familiar with Junior's Eyes because we haven't released it in any form, but we did cover it in Lucid Fugue. There.
Yeah. We were going to put out a covers album or EP and then never did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I want to redo everything because I'm a better singer than I was when we
It's all in the vault.
Well, I think like Junior's Eyes, for example, is a really interesting song. Not what you would expect from Black Sabbath, but I ended up really liking that song. I don't what has it been too long since you listened to it to say anything?
Yeah, it's been too long.
I got you. You're probably more familiar with our version, actually.
At this point, yeah, because that's what I heard last and a lot.
Either way, those two albums, nobody liked them at the time. A lot of people were referring to them as like dinosaurs, and I see people say like Van Halen was blowing them off stage every night and stuff like that. And
that makes sense, to be honest. Like, oh, I do have a relationship with this album, though. I didn't know this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, my dad doesn't like Ozzy Sabbath. That's his controversial take. He doesn't. But when I was growing up, he had this record, and the album cover, surprisingly enough, is what stuck out to me. And this was actually probably maybe the first Sabbath album I ever heard.
Oh, nice.
Like,
that is unusual. Yeah.
Yeah. It was just the one my dad had because it was the only one he liked.
Yeah.
But it is sick.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about all the songs, obviously, but that's my relationship with the Sabbath. Is that actually my first Sabbath album?
And for me, it was I listened to all the Ozzy albums, and I'm like, well, I might as well check it out with this other fucking guy because I bought Live Evil before I got this, and I wasn't expecting the singer change.
Yeah.
And of course, I did the first thing that a lot of casual people do. I put on Iron Man. And I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? This sounds like a fucking punk singer. And Dio doesn't sound like a punk singer. I don't know why I picked that, but that's what I said when I heard it.
It's funny. My first Sabbath song was Paranoid. And that was a great entry point for me because, this sounds like a punk song.
I'm trying.
When Ozzy calls it a punk song, his autobiography.
Oh, it is.
It's not wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He calls it the first punk song, which is wrong. Though.
That is wrong. Yeah. But yeah, it is a punk song. It's an early punk song.
I think my first. I don't know. I think my first song was probably Iron Man. Because I remember everyone like, I am Iron Man. I remember I think I said this on like volume 4, but I fell into Black Sabbath because Nirvana had an interview where they said like they were a mixture of the Bay City Rollers being molested by Black Flag and Black Sabbath.
Which they are. That is a pretty good description of Nirvana's
Which
sound.
I thought it was funny. And so I was getting a lot of my CDs from Best Buy at the time. And I was looking for Black Flag or Black Sabbath, and I found they didn't have any Black Flag, but I found Black Sabbath.
Which is funny because I do think I got damaged at Best Buy.
And I had
rest in peace, the Best Buy.
And I knew Iron Man, so then I bought Paranoid. And like you guys, I saw the cover. I'm like, that's a dumb fucking cover. And then I'm like, you know what, though? I'll give it a chance. And so that's how I kind of got into Black Sabbath.
I'm sure I said this on the Volume 4 episode, but the first time I sought out Black Sabbath is I was looking for Iron Man, and I downloaded the version from Nativity in Black with Ozzy singing with Therapy. So when I got Paranoid, like later on, I was just like, why does it sound so weird? It's not as heavy. What the fuck? So
you heard the Guitar Hero version first.
Oh, that would be weird to hear first.
Yeah.
That would be weird to hear like that version before you heard the other version.
It was probably in my benefit because I was really into nu metal at the time, and that one was more industrial. So it probably helped my entry into Black Sabbath eventually.
Yeah.
The first time I actually heard Black Sabbath songs was the Speak of the Devil album because my dad had a burnt CD, and then I think Reunion as well.
Yeah. Funny story about me buying Damaged at Best Buy though. Like I was like when I was in high school, I've always been a pretty big movie guy, and my friends and I were obsessed with the movie Heat, which I technically saw before I bought Damaged. So I knew Henry Rollins from Heat before I knew him from Black Flag.
That's funny.
Well, all right, so let's get back into it. So eventually, Ozzy he wasn't interested anymore. He'd left the band one time. They did a show with one other guy, and he was so bad that Geezer's like, oh yeah, we wouldn't. It wouldn't work with him.
Oh yeah, I forget that Dio was the third singer. How many singers?
I mean, the guy was in the band for such a little amount of time that
Still counts.
Okay.
They did.
They did go on a TV show and did a completely different version of Junior's Eyes. So, what were you gonna say?
How many singers?
Total Sabbath have?
Yeah.
Ozzy, Dio, Ian Gillan, that one guy,
Glenn Hughes.
Oh yeah, Glenn Hughes. I forgot about that 7-star. But then the one guy that they kicked out and re-recorded the album with, Tony Martin is one.
Yeah, and Ray Gillan.
Ray Gillan, that's his name. Yeah, Ray Gillan. They cut him out because he was
Ron Halford for 2 shows.
What's that like? So like 7 or 8?
Yeah. Like at least like 5 or 6 singers.
What if they formed a ska band of former Black Sabbath singers in the afterlife?
That'd be pretty sick.
Yeah.
In the afterlife.
Christian rock singer Jeff Venholt auditioned for Tony Iommi's solo band, so he calls himself a Black Sabbath singer.
Oh, that doesn't count. I won't count that.
But it doesn't count because Tony was doing a 7-star, and at the time it was a Tony Iommi solo project. So
yeah.
Black Sabbath featuring Tony Iommi.
So after Never Say Die, Ozzy's out. The three of them are still around. Geezer leaves at some points because I think the primary reason is his marriage was falling apart. The oversimplified version of this is Tony meets Ronnie James Dio in a bar, and they're like, we should do something. And then they get together with Bill. They do Children of the Sea. So that was the first song that came out of this project. 3 songs that we know of that were potentially sung by Ozzy with different lyrics and vocal melody would be Children of the Sea. I think Wishing Well. I think Geezer mentioned that one, and I think somebody else mentioned Lady Evil. So
I am married to the sea. Don't tell her I called her that.
So the interesting thing about this album is since Geezer was away for much of the writing of this, there's an interesting bed of rumors on who played bass on this album. I think it was Geezer 100%, but some people think Craig Gruber from Rainbow actually played bass on this.
Really? What's the evidence? I've never even heard this before. I'm so interested.
Well, he gave an interview at one point.
Craig Gruber?
Yeah, where he said he recorded the entire album, and this is confirmed on Tony Iommi's autobiography. Now, Tony in his book says, we recorded it with Craig, and then when Geezer came back, he recorded his lines, and he didn't even hear what Craig Gruber did.
I don't know if I believe that entirely.
I mean, it sounds like Geezer Butler. He has a very particular, that box style.
Exactly.
You know?
And to get ready for this, I listened to a Rainbow album, and then I listened to the band that he joined right after this project. I forget the name. Sorry, Craig. And
friend of the show, Craig Gruber.
And Craig, he's got more of a trebly bass tone.
What if they told him to play more like Geezer?
It's possible they set up the gear to make it sound like Geezer. I just think it's Geezer, but keep in mind when we're listening to this that some people think it's a different bass player. I found arguments from all over the history of the internet of people discussing who's playing bass on this album.
I'm really going to research this, though. This is so interesting.
What if it's Geezer on some songs and Gruber on others?
So there is an interview where Geezer said that all the parts were his except Die Young. And we'll get into that, too, because Craig Gruber claims that he wrote Die Young and brought it in. But people are trying to determine, did Geezer mean he wrote all the bass lines except for Die Young? Or
he played all the bass lines except for Die Young?
Yeah, so I listened to it. I think it's Geezer.
I will be listening harder.
What if there are Gruber scratch tracks that Geezer played over?
I don't know. We do know that Heaven and Hell wasn't entirely written by Geezer because the bass... Geezer said in an interview that it was written by Jeff Nichols, the keyboard player, who you pointed out in the Headless Cross episode as interesting.
Yeah. So he was in the band for a while, and they just were shoving him into the background and not crediting him.
Yeah, he was like a tour... they would have a touring keyboard. They had to for Technical Ecstasy. I assume he was probably with them at least since then.
I want to say it was this album he started getting involved in the Sabbath camp, but
he didn't get drawn.
No,
that's fucked up.
He's not in the Headless Cross music video either, and you can hear the keyboard pretty clearly in the song.
They usually shoved him off stage. Jeff Nichols wrote the bass line to Heaven and Hell, and Geezer said, "Oh, it's so simple. I would have never came up with that."
Interesting thing for Geezer Butler to say. all love to Geezer, but I mean, he's not. I wouldn't call him an incredibly technical bassist. Oh man, I don't know. I had silence in the room now.
No, I don't think you're wrong. I just don't have anything to add.
I think he's.
I think his bass lines, the way that he accents things.
He's a blues guy.
Yeah,
I think he's a good bass player, but
he's probably my favorite bass player.
But I think his stuff is pretty his bass playing is pretty grounded too, and it also does kind of help keep nail the song down. Yeah. Sometimes you need someone. I think you need someone to be playing simpler than the rest of the band most of the time.
He's got his own style. That's how everybody knows it's Geezer.
Yeah. Well, I think they do a great job.
He plays to the song. He plays for the song.
I think they all do a great job of filling in when the others aren't. So if Bill Ward's doing a drum fill or something, then nobody's going to be playing over him, and vice versa. So, Well, anyway, so yeah, Craig Gruber, I found this interview where somebody asked him, how did the Sabbath thing get started? And it's really interesting because it gives it paints a pretty clear picture of like Dio, I think, was always great to his fans, but behind the scenes, he was a little ruthless. So like he got Craig into the band because Geezer left. I think they decided to use somebody besides Jeff Nichols. So Ronnie calls up and he's like, and they hadn't talked for years because of the way he got kicked out of Rainbow. He wasn't happy about that. So he calls up and he's just like, hey, Craig, it's Ron. He's like, Ron who? And he's like, you probably don't remember me, do you? And he's like, Ron who? And he's like, Ronnie. And he's like, unfucking believable, dude. And he's like, okay, listen, before you hang up, I know you're pissed, but hear me out. And he's like, the only reason you're calling me Ronnie is because you fucking want something. You never call anybody if it's going to do them any good. You're one of those. And he's like, fuck you, Craig. And then he like hangs up and he calls back later and he's just like, look, I just joined Black Sabbath. And he says he laughed out loud and then it was like, those fucking dinosaurs.
Wow.
Hell yeah. Let them know that. And this is what, 1980?
79 probably.
Yeah. Dinosaurs already.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So he's like, listen, we wrote some material. He's a full member of the band. Ozzy's gone and Geezer just quit. And he said, well, if Ozzy's gone and Geezer left, you're pretty much fucked then.
He's like, the two best people in the band left?
So he goes anyway. And he actually leaves a pretty good job he had at the record plant. I guess he was like a session bass player that was just there. So if somebody needed a bass line, they would bring him in and he'd just do it.
Yeah. Okay.
And so he left that job to join Black Sabbath. They write and record this whole album. And then they're like, Geezer wants to come back. And basically he's like,
fuck you.
Fuck.
This shit again, dude.
Well, yeah, he's pissed. Like, in this interview, it makes it very clear that he's pissed about it. But he's also like, from a business perspective, I get it. I mean, Geezer's the original member of the band. That's what you're going to want to do. And he's like, all right, well, I want my credits and I want to get paid. He says he got paid, and then they didn't put his credit on the album. So,
damn. But he claims all those tracks are also his. Like,
there was an interview where he claims he wrote everything, but Tony says that they
re-recorded the whole.
They re-recorded it and didn't play the bass tracks for him. Now, since Geezer was sent the recordings, and that's what made him want to rejoin the project. There's no way he didn't hear the bass lines, but I'm not sure if he sat and like practiced to him.
Unless that was like a ploy by the band too, where like some of the tracks without the bass lines, and we're just like, damn man, we really need some bass on. You know what this needs? A bass player, right? Oh my god.
Me personally, I would believe that Tony would lie about it, but I don't think Geezer would lie about it. So I think it's Geezer on this album. Like on all the tracks, like Die Young sounds like him. All the tracks to me, they sound like him. Like I've seen people say like, well, listen to the bass playing in the last two albums. It doesn't sound anything like this album. Like this album doesn't sound anything like those albums.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
Yeah. And then they compare it to the earlier ones. And I'm like, well, they're playing an entirely different kind of like rock music here. Yeah. It's like it's more heavy metal than it is like heavy rock that they used to play. So
didn't Bill Ward quit like right after this too?
Yeah, before the tour.
And then they got Vinny Appice.
And
brother of Carmine Appice.
I like Bill Ward a lot better. I'll just put it that way.
No, I think Vinny Appice is like a good drummer, and he's been in a bunch of bands, and he's worked, and he's done good shit. But yeah, he's never been my favorite drummer in any band he's been in.
He just doesn't have a swing like Bill Ward has, and I think it's interesting because I think Tony Iommi got used to the like straightforward type drummer because Bill Ward was talking about rejoining the band in the 2000s to do those 3 songs that were on the Dio Years compilation. Mm-hmm. And the producer kept telling him like, no, you got to keep playing through. And he's like, no, I don't do that. I've always followed the guitar. Like, that's just the way that I play drums. And then he left and they got Vinny Appice. So, but yeah, we were talking about an album that Bill Ward's on though. So I've even saw people speculate that Bill Ward doesn't play the drums on this album. I'm like, no, he does.
Yeah.
Bill Ward's got his distinct style. So yeah, basically
well,
that's
he's drawn on the back, so
Yeah.
we got to believe it.
So Geezer comes back. They redo the bass lines. They put out the album. I think it was their first platinum album ever, maybe, or at least in a while. Yeah.
This was a big album. I do know that. This was a huge hit.
Yeah.
And they're like, Sabbath is back.
My dad saw them on this tour, the Black and Blue tour with Blue Oyster Cult, and he said he didn't remember anything because he was on acid. But he said he does remember like the lights like shine down on Dio, and he had like an outfit with like a cape or something, and he like opened the cape and it was like red, and it was shining like a red light at him, and he looked like the devil. And I'm like, that's awesome, Dad.
That's awesome.
You saw my favorite band with one of my favorite lineups in its prime.
My dad has the ticket stub from that show too.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Is it your second favorite lineup?
It's so different from the Ozzy era. It's hard for me to loop them together. Like that's another thing I kind of wanted to say about this album is it's one of my favorite albums. It's not one of my favorite Black Sabbath albums.
Yeah.
From what I remember, it's sounding very like 80s heavy metal.
Yeah.
So
and it's one of the first examples of it. I'd say
Yeah.
too. Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot like early Judas Priest, early Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I remember it sounding that way. And at the time, I didn't like that sound. So that's probably why I didn't give it a chance as much as I would have now.
Yeah.
Because that sound because I was more into the either hard rock or grunge sound.
Yeah.
So like 80s sound wasn't really my thing, but like now I'm more, I can tolerate that. Like I like Judas Priest, like some Judas Priest and stuff like that. And
Listen to 70s Priest. That's where it's at, dude.
This album does sound very of its time, and I think the Ozzy era sounds timeless myself.
yeah,
I would agree.
and that's what I remember from it is it sounded very like of its time, very 80s sounding.
All right, who wants to talk about the album cover? Like we already discussed, like who.
It's sick.
Yeah.
It's great. It's iconic.
It's three angels sitting around smoking cigarettes and playing poker, it looks like, or cards at least.
Love it.
I don't think it represents any members of the band because they don't really look like any of them.
No, they have drawings on the back. When he
Yeah.
started saying that, I'm like, oh, you're talking about the drawings on the back. I'm a fucking idiot.
Yeah. But
They all look like Tony Iommi's mom.
I mean, if they look like anyone, they look like Tony. So that could be, yeah. But yeah, no, just kind of sitting there while two are playing cards. One's just smoking. They're all smoking though. And yeah, it's cool. They look like they're hanging out. It reminds me, like it's done a lot, like in the style of like Renaissance painting. You can tell it's not done by a Renaissance painter other than just the anachronisms, but you know, like it looks like it's contemporary going for that style. And band's name is on top and then Heaven and Hell on the bottom. You bought this for $5. Good for you.
I'm glad I bought most of my collection before people started caring about vinyl.
Well, it was a huge album too. They made a lot of them. You know?
Yeah. Then on the back, there is a nice pencil drawing of them where it looks like it kind of looks like the pencil drawing from the animation from Take On Me by Aha.
No, very 80s covers, front and back.
Yeah. Funny thing about this picture too is like Geezer and Bill, they look very like nice and wholesome, while Tony looks sullen and like he's sad.
Tony always looks like that.
He looks like he just had a pet die or something.
He's always been sad that he's been stuck in Black Sabbath his entire life.
And then
he's sad that somebody snorted all the cocaine.
yeah. And Dio looks kind of like mysterious and aloof.
Very Dio.
Yeah.
I think that's the perfect description of Dio, mysterious and aloof.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. But yeah, no, like Geezer and Bill look like the friendly guys you talk to at the local bar. And Tony looks like the kind of guy who blows you off at the local bar. And Dio looks like...
I thought you were going to say the friendly guy that blows you at the bar.
No.
Dio looks like my wife and I want to buy you a drink at the local bar.
Yeah. We saw your vibe from across the room. Yeah.
Are you a swinger?
Yeah.
It's probably not too far off there.
Yeah, I think it's iconic.
Yeah, but it's also kind of funny that, you know, like there's so much drama behind the scenes at this time, and like a couple of these guys look like, oh, hi, I'm the nicest guy you'll meet. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that the Angel Smoking is like an iconic 80s album cover. You could easily see it for like another great 80s band, like a Tears for Fears or something. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I think it was a great choice to stay relevant.
Yeah.
Like, they kind of changed with the times in a positive way.
Yeah. Tears for Fears and Aha is like a good way to put it. Like, the album art could be a metal album, but it also could be like a new wave act too.
Exactly.
Like, yeah. It's 80s, but like in like a cross genre way.
Well, I think even that interview with the guy that said, "Oh, those dinosaurs," I think that kind of speaks to the attitude at the time of what people thought of Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
So them doing some changes and like
Them going through changes?
going through changes, but you know, making some changes was probably necessary and to stay relevant.
Yeah.
It kind of was. Like, music in general is moving in a different direction. Metal was moving in a different direction.
All right. So, yeah, the lineup on this album is the original three of Tony Iommi,
Or is it?
Bill Ward, and Geezer Butler.
Allegedly. That's allegedly the lineup.
With replacement singer Ronnie James Dio. Jeff Nichols did the keyboard. It was produced by Martin Birch, who did the production for Rainbow and then later Iron Maiden. So, yeah, it has a very different sound than all of their previous albums.
And all keyboards played by Jeff Nichols.
I said that.
He did say that.
And,
great production, too, by the way. This album sounds great.
I want to read the quote. "The world is full of kings and queens who blind your eyes, then steal your dreams. It's heaven and hell."
What if all three angels on the front are Jeff Nichols?
Haunting the narrative. No.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, this album sounds very different than all the other Sabbath albums. And I think that's in part from Geezer not really being there. Ronnie James Dio is a multi-instrumentalist, so he was actually sitting there with an instrument and playing with them while they were writing some of these songs. Die Young was allegedly written by Craig Gruber. I've seen enough to believe that he brought at least part of that song in.
Ooh, what if the three angels on the front are Gruber, Jeff Nichols, and that singer they fired?
And Ozzy.
No, the one between Dio and Ozzy. Yeah.
No, see, the two playing the
Rob
cards
Halford.
are Ozzy and Craig, and then Jeff Nichols is sitting over here because he's not even... basically not in the band in their eyes.
Yeah.
He's the side man.
All right. Finally, we're going to do side A.
Well, we need to read.
There's a lot of lore that I had to get out.
Well, we need to read the track list for side A.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah,
So, side A.
You have it in front of you, dude.
You're so funny, dude.
Well,
The back of the album is in a weird order. Read that in order. Read that in the order it looks like it's in.
It's wrong.
Neon Nights, Children of the Sea, Walk Away, Lonely as the World, Heaven and Hell, Wishing Well, Die Young.
I think it's right on the CD copy. But
Okay, so Neon, is it the first four?
Yeah.
Okay, Neon Nights.
and that was the one that one actually was written with Geezer Butler. That was the last song they were recorded for this, and that was back when he'd already returned.
Neon Nights.
Neon Nights.
Neon Nights.
Not how it goes.
Not Nights.
I know. I was.
But
Neon Nights.
I was singing Neon Lights by Kraftwerk.
it's night spelled with a K, so it's Knights.
Knights.
So it's Neon Knights, and then it's Children of the Sea,
And that was the first one they wrote together.
and then Lady Evil. Do you have something to say about this one?
There's potentially an Aussie demo of that one.
And then Heaven and Hell. Hey, that's the name of the fucking album.
That's why it's called that.
Oh shit!
So
Mind blown.
So when they toured with this lineup later on as Heaven and Hell, they did the thing where they have the album title with the title track and the band's name.
Black Sabbath.
Yeah. So it's like Black Sabbath by the band Black Sabbath on the album Black Sabbath all over again.
Mm-hmm. If you read Ozzy's autobiography, he briefly talks about this moment, and basically his opinion was Ronnie James Dio was a great singer, and they made a lot of great songs together. I just wish they'd called it Black Sabbath 2. And they probably should have changed the name of the band, but in a perfect world. But from a business perspective, it made sense.
Yeah, why would you change?
It wouldn't have been a
profitable band. People were gonna buy the record no matter what it sounded like.
Yeah.
Because it's called Black Sabbath.
It wouldn't have been a platinum hit.
I do want to say that this also says music written and arranged by Butler.
Oh, interesting.
This does say that on the back. It's saying that Geezer Butler wrote all of these songs.
Black Sabbath's credits are very unreliable on it.
It says music written and arranged by Butler, Dio, Iommi, and Ward.
Oh yeah, that does say that.
They left poor Craig out.
Did you?
But it says Butler is there.
They just did it in alphabetical order.
All right, we're gonna throw this on. If you're listening at home, we don't play music during the podcast, so
fuck
pause
off.
here, go find it.
Listen to yourself.
I'm not your dad.
Take a crank break. Crank
Yeah.
a hog.
Bop, bop, bop.
Come on back.
Go get a pop.
And we're back from side 1 of Heaven and Hell
Wow,
by Black Sabbath.
I like
featuring a song
Cheetos.
called Heaven and Hell.
what an experience!
Yeah.
Banger after banger, really.
It was a good album.
Side.
Good side of an album. I don't like it more than the original 6 run of Sabbath records.
Just wait till you hear the back half.
Yeah. So far, yeah. But I do think it's a highlight of their career. It's definitely better than the last 2 Ozzy records. I do think, it really did give them a shot in the arm. I don't think Sabbath would have become the legacy act they did, even with the original lineup, without this era.
Yeah, I would agree. Actually, this was huge for Sabbath. This was a make or break album. I'm sure if this didn't work, I'm 100% certain the band would have broken up.
Yeah,
or Tony Iommi would have went solo. Something. I don't think they would have tried it with another singer. People were already leaving.
Yeah.
Well, and I do think that Tony probably would have just started a different project.
Yeah, they would have all had bands, but Bill Ward leaves the next record. Geezer was already trying to leave here.
Yeah.
I swear if this was a flop, they would have not continued.
They would have become
They would have played at state fairs in 20 years when they reunited because all their other bands flopped or something.
I think I agree with Ozzy's take that they probably shouldn't have continued under the name Black Sabbath.
Oh, 2 of these songs sounded like they could be Ozzy era songs for the most part.
Yeah.
I'll get into that a little more later. But the other 2 I couldn't picture him singing on at all.
Yeah, I kind of agree that it doesn't sound like... Some parts sounded like classic Sabbath, but we'll get into that.
Yeah.
But for the most part, not really. The songwriting was very different. I mean, it was written by Tony and Dio for the most part before the original members or before Geezer came back. And I mean, Geezer was a big part of the original sound. So
yeah.
And that's not to detract from this album in any way. It just sounds like a different band to me.
Yeah.
I agree that they probably should have. But I understand too why they wouldn't have changed the name too.
Well, I wonder
because it was 75% Black Sabbath. You know?
I wonder if it was a record label thing too. I wonder if they wanted to change the band name because this lineup eventually did change the band name. Yeah. They released now under the name Heaven and Hell. It wasn't called Heaven and Hell, but under the name Heaven and Hell. They eventually changed the name, so I wonder if they wanted to, and they were just like, absolutely not.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what happened. The management and the label were saying nope. Because I mean, the same thing happened to Tony for the 7 Star album. That was supposed to be a solo album.
That's
no, Black Sabbath.
Black Sabbath featuring Tony Iommi. Which Black Sabbath wouldn't have Tony Iommi?
He's the only one who's on every album, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it made sense for them to change the name when they got back together in the 2000s because they'd already gotten back together with Ozzy. That would have caused so much confusion. And they were like, we don't want to play Iron Man and Paranoid anymore.
And Geezer is the one who rejoined the band the most.
Yeah.
Yep.
First time he rejoined here.
So for me, the very first time I ever heard this album, I remember as soon as Neon Nights started playing, I was just like, holy fuck, this is going to be awesome. And then it ended up being awesome. I think this is an amazing side of music. Heaven and Hell is one of my favorite songs. Neon Nights has one of my favorite Tony Iommi solos. Children of the Sea just has this like epic lushness to it. And Lady Evil's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, that's my thoughts too. We don't have to go song by song. I'm just kidding.
But yeah, we'll get to it as we go song by song, what I thought, but it's similar thoughts. Yeah.
Which I guess we can do now. Neon Nights, which is apparently about, I think it's about like the nightclub scene. They were talking about like going to like the Rainbow Bar and Grill or whatever, like in its heyday or whatever, and that kind of stuff.
The guitar sound, especially at the beginning, sounded like thrash or even like
Speed metal.
I was gonna say like when 77 punk went 1978 when it got a little more production value. Yeah.
This fucking guy.
Yeah.
I said nice driving guitar and drums. Like Dio's voice is like awesome.
Yeah.
You know.
Perfect intro.
Yeah.
Real statement to be like, this ain't your papa's Black Sabbath. We ain't dinosaurs now. We're woolly mammoths.
I did.
Yeah.
I couldn't put it better myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said great opener.
Yeah. The bass sounded like Geezer to me.
Yeah.
These all sounded like Geezer. So
Yeah, these all pretty much sound like Geezer.
There was this one point where I thought it sounded a little trebly, so maybe it wasn't.
Children of the Sea is probably the only one where I'd be like, I don't know, maybe because it's just like it's so melodic, and I guess that's not even outside Geezer's wheelhouse. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Cut it.
Yeah, just shut up. Shut your fucking mouth.
I'm shutting my fucking mouth. I love this song actually.
Yeah,
it's
a good song. It doesn't sound like Sabbath to me. It sounds like a different band.
You know, Clayton, it's funny you bring that up because I think I did see somebody make that argument in like one of the forum arguments from decades ago.
About Children of the Sea?
Yeah, they're like, Geezer doesn't play melodically like that, so therefore it must be Craig Gruber. Like he's not capable of it.
Yeah, exactly. He's very capable of it. Although I would say it does like... It doesn't sound like a regular Sabbath song. I can see where you'd come with that, but it's a different band. The music is different, and he adapted.
Yeah,
it's a different song.
This is not a Geezer Butler hate episode.
No,
in my opinion, I think he was probably influenced by the bass lines, but I don't think he sat down and tried to learn them either.
No, I don't.
That sounds likely. If this sounded like any other band to me, it was Judas Priest.
The most obvious comparison would be Rainbow. I think it was produced by the same producer as Rainbow. It's got the same singer. Tony Iommi and Richie Blackmore are very different guitar players.
Yes.
But
that's a good point. Even if it wasn't the dude from Rainbow playing the bass lines, they had Dio and the producer.
Yeah.
So maybe that would have an influence on it as well.
I mean, he got paid, so...
Yeah, according to him, he got paid very well for it. So
they probably paid him a little more so they could get away with not crediting him.
Yeah, I'm guessing they probably paid him well enough. They're just like, yeah, you know what? I'm not going to fuck with him.
Yeah,
fuck him, but I'm not going to fuck with him.
They bought him off basically. Yeah,
they're like, here you go, Craig. Shut the fuck up.
Leveraged buyout or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. I liked it. It was a good song. It sounded.
It was a good mission statement.
Yeah. I wouldn't go for it if I wanted to get the same kind of feeling I would get from the classic run of Sabbath albums, but it does sound like good early 80s metal.
Oddly enough, when I heard this album the first time, I didn't immediately attach to this song. It wasn't until I was older and...
which song are you talking about?
Children of the Sea.
Oh,
we were still talking about Neon Nights.
Oh, were we? I thought we pivoted.
Okay, let's talk about Children of the Sea.
But I think it's a great segue because Children of the Sea is like kind of so different than Neon Nights, but it's still a great song.
Yeah.
It's a perfect second song.
The beginning sounded kind of like the folky heavy rock of like Led Zeppelin 3.
Yeah, I like this one more than the Neon Nights right off the bat. Like, I like the nice acoustic guitar opener, and then like the very epic boom boom, like getting to the.
This was the one that I could picture Ozzy singing the least.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot picture Ozzy doing that kind of vibrato that Dio was doing.
I'd be very curious to hear what the demo sounds like with him on it.
Is there a demo of it?
Not something that we're ever gonna hear, but
Yeah, I guess
Maybe when Tony Iommi dies.
because you had said that when they met, Tony, like this was the first song that kind of came out of their recording session.
yeah, this is the first one that they all worked on.
Yeah, this would be, and that makes sense to me too. Like, you play this and then you hear back, you're like, oh, this actually works. This works really well.
Yeah. The keyboard, I like the keyboard, but it was shoved really far back in the mix.
That's why he's not drawn on the back of the album.
Like, I didn't even notice it.
They couldn't
till
even put
pretty
like
late
a
in the
little
song.
stick figure down there and like put his name.
And that's Jeff.
There's Jeff. My name is Jeff.
One of my favorite stories from Iommi's biography about this song is I think one of them jokingly said we should get a monk to do the chants, and their producer took it seriously. So they said they should get a monk choir, and so the producer took it seriously, and he ran out and he's just like, well, I couldn't get you a whole choir, but I got one monk, and he says he can overdub it. And so that part in the breakdown where the chanting, that's a monk, like a literal monk.
Singular monk overdubbing.
Oh my god.
Monks are kind of good with harmonizing with themselves too, though, because like a lot of the old like chapels and baptistries and the like were built to have the kind of acoustics where you could sing a note, and then when it echoed back, you could harmonize with it.
Yeah.
And so like when I was in Italy, I went to a baptistry, and I heard like if you threw a couple euros at the security guard, he would play a chord with his own voice basically because it would echo back 3 times. And he would, hit all 3 notes, and by the end,
That's cool.
Wild,
man.
wild man. Oh my god.
All right. Anything else on Children of the Sea?
Good song.
They should have drawn that monk on the back of their.
They
I
should have.
know. They should. They needed to add a bunch of people.
I guess one more thing I can say about this one is look out.
Look out! Yes, beginning of Dio-isms. He takes these phrases into his solo career. He says "look out" a lot later. Look out! And I feel like this has to be the first. I don't remember a Rainbow song where he says "look out."
No, nor an Elf song.
Yeah, I'm not really well versed in Elf, but I don't.
You should check it out. I think you'd like it.
I don't remember a Rainbow song where he says "look out," but I do know Dio songs where he goes like "look out."
I did say Dio is killing it, by the way.
Yeah,
This is prime Dio. Like,
he's got such a great voice.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, usually there are a lot of people in this era that have that same like upper register, high tenor operatic voice. But I don't think anybody does it as good as he does.
No, I
can't think. Maybe Rob Halford, I suppose, but
Yeah.
But like, I think about like all the hair metal bands have a guy that vaguely sounds like this.
Well, they're trying to like cross this with David Johansen and successfully doing neither.
Yeah. All right. Next song, Lady Evil. Apparently, this one has a demo that Ozzy sang on.
It sounded like the most like an Ozzy song so far.
This does sound like one that Ozzy could sing, and if it did, they would have been continued to be called Dinosaurs.
Yeah.
I think it sounds like an old song, and Dio's voice really elevates it to like that different thing. If Ozzy sang this, they would have been like, "Oh, this shit again."
Yeah.
This was the least essential song on the side, in my opinion.
Yeah, also,
I agree.
like objectively the worst song on the side.
Actually, I was gonna say this is the song that sounded the most like it was from the 80s. Like it sounded like the most like generic 80s song, like because it just sounded like so like from like an 80s movie montage, or like someone walking down the street in an 80s movie with like a blazer and like fucking with like shoulder pads.
Yeah, like it wasn't bad. Like it wouldn't skip it on a CD.
I know,
but, like,
it
but it's
wasn't
also
bad.
It was just kind of there.
Yeah. It was probably my least favorite, like you guys, but I did like the thumping bass on that one. I did like the bass on that.
I like grooving to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
This was the
It's
one.
a good song, not a great song.
This is the one where I really noticed too that like none of like where my notes say none of these lyrics sound like Geezer. Yeah. Because it was similar enough to old Black Sabbath that like the main thing I latched on was different. Was like, this does not sound like the kind of lyrics Geezer wrote.
It's kind of like somebody's like, all right, I'm ready for Black Sabbath, so I have to write a song about evil.
There's
like,
a place out the Witch's Valley. That's creepy, right, boys?
Yeah.
It was.
now I want to hear Tom Waits do that song.
There's a place out the Witch's Valley.
It's almost a song like they said, hey, we just need a side filler, you know?
Yeah, this was probably like, put Lady Evil on it, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, blimey, we need more songs, Tony.
We need one more song.
We wrote 7 songs that we like, and then like 3 that we didn't pick the best one of the yeah.
And then Heaven and Hell, I fucking love this song. It's one of my favorite songs. I don't know if I could pick a favorite song.
It was terrible. No, I'm just kidding.
It was my favorite on the side.
It stinks.
Great song.
Fucking epic. I said epic. I will say though, I might like Children of the Sea better. This might be the more famous song off of this album.
Yeah, I would agree.
Because
I'm sure this was
because I think I've heard it more than just the time I had listened to it before.
Yeah.
But I think I did like the epicness of Children of the Sea maybe a little bit better.
I thought this one was epic too, but yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was.
This one's like epic
really
in like
great.
a powerful sense, and the other one's in a, I don't know, melancholy sense.
One thing that I thought was interesting about this is like the first, let's say 5/8 of the song, I thought it sounded like a song that I could picture Ozzy singing. But then when it kind of picked up tempo near the end, no, that's like only Dio could do that.
The world is full of kings and queens. Now you understand the note on the back.
Yeah.
I love the lyrics to that section. This is honestly one of Dio's best songs he ever wrote.
Yeah, and I like the way the bass pulsed. I liked how they were willing to do like more dynamic type stuff. Like classic Sabbath does a lot of dynamics. This one hasn't done as much, but like they like pushed the guitar to the back of the mix for sections of the verse, which I thought was cool.
Also, he says "fool, fool."
Yeah.
Fool, fool. You got to bleed for the dance.
And that lights my soul on fire.
Yeah. And then at the end, it ended with more like Zeppelin 3 style folk rock.
Yeah, it did say nice acoustic outro.
It's kind of an opposite song to Children of the Sea. Children of the Sea starts with the acoustic, Heaven and Hell ends with the acoustic. Heaven and Hell speeds up, Children of the Sea kind of slows down.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing song, amazing lyrics, amazing performances from everyone involved. I think you can probably thank Jeff Nichols for some of that dynamicness you were mentioning, since like Geezer said, like he came up with a bass line, like I'm assuming he's talking about like the simple like partner in the verses. He said he would have never came up with that on his own. So. Despite not being credited, this album was very much a team effort.
Yeah.
At least not drawn on the back.
Poor Jeff.
Like I said, at least a fucking stick figure.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Or Heaven and Hell Christ.
This began the long tradition of metal using keyboards but pretending it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sadly, at this point, keyboards were still gay.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can't put some gay keyboard player on there. What are you talking about?
What is this, fucking Depeche Mode?
We don't have a keyboard player.
Yeah.
All keyboards played by Jeff Nichols.
Yeah. All right, that was side A. Moving on to side B, we got Wishing Well, Die Young, which allegedly was written by Craig Gruber, and I believe him, so I'll just preface it in that way. But Walk
Why
Away.
does it suck?
No, it's
Great song, honestly.
It's one of my favorite songs.
I'm going to listen to the bass very carefully on it. Yeah.
Walk Away, and then Lonely is the word.
Walk away. Just walk away.
Supposedly, Tony didn't like Walk Away, and he said he probably axed that one. But
Interesting.
No, that reminds me of Mad Max 2, where he's like, just walk away.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, your side B.
Dude, they left him in like at the last.
Yeah, like in the fade out.
Yeah, they're like, "See, we put you on the album, fucking wanker. Quit complaining."
Yeah, that was worth the $10,000 we paid you.
And we're back from side B of Heaven and Hell by Black Sabbath. What'd y'all think?
What the fuck was that?
I thought it was weaker than the first side, but there were two songs I really liked. One song that I was like, yeah, this is fine, and then one that I didn't. But yeah.
Yeah, overall, it was a weaker side.
Mm-hmm.
That's a weaker side, but it does have two big highlights to the album.
Yeah. There are two really big highlights. There's just like two other songs too.
Like side A only had one
minor, like
less good than the rest on the side.
I would say that one was better than the two songs on this side.
I would agree.
Whoa. I say
Wishing Well and Walk Away, I think, are pretty weak songs.
I like Walk Away. Actually, listening to it again, we'll get to it. We're gonna go somewhere.
But yeah, overall,
we're totally disagreeing on that point. We don't even have to get there. But
it's not like the biggest drop off I've heard on a side two either. Like
no,
yeah, like I think like it's a great first side and a second side that averages out to fine, but still has like two really great songs on it.
Yeah.
Well, we'll start with Wishing Well. And I say these are the two weaker songs. I will say that I still like these songs.
I still liked Wishing Well.
Yeah.
I'll say that. Yeah,
I liked it.
Yeah.
I don't dislike any songs on this album.
Yeah, me either.
I thought it had a good gallop. It sounded a little more generic, but it was also like really good as a side opener with like the fast tempo and like the high energy to it too.
Yeah, I thought it was a good side opener, and I like the lead guitar on it, but I just thought it was kind of I thought it was like almost redundant. Like it kind of was basically like the same as the first side opener.
I felt like the guitar solo didn't quite know where it wanted to go, and some of the lyrics were a little bit sweaty too. Like it was like a word association thing that wasn't like tied together enough.
He sings about the wind a lot.
Yeah.
Well, and then I got in my head, I'm like, is he talking about his asshole? He's like, I'm a wishing well, and I'm like, what is he talking about? So
no, he's saying he's something that you can have faith in.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. But it's like,
but then I got in my head. He's like talking about his asshole.
You can have faith in his asshole.
So, and then I
strong and sturdy, made out of stone.
But as a side opener, it was like a good shot of adrenaline too. So yeah,
well, maybe he needs to lube it up a little bit. You know,
there you go.
Yeah, just a pretty average song.
Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah. An average song for a great band.
Yeah. I wouldn't skip it.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing.
Yeah. Next one, Die Young. I fucking loved this song.
Yeah, great
one. Second favorite on the album after Heaven and Hell. One that I probably put on more though because it's easier to digest in one sitting type of song where Heaven and Hell is like, I don't know, I feel like you gotta like prepare for that song in some ways.
I liked how it started with like the spooky synth drone, but then it went into like speed or thrash metal after that.
Yeah,
so good. I love it.
It was a great. I like the nice keyboard intro as well, and
keyboard. Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
And the like when it boom into the song proper, and then it even did like a drop off in the middle and did like the keyboard again. That was nice.
Yeah, this was the most noticeable the keyboard was on the whole album. It didn't feel like it was shoved into the back the same way it was on most of the other songs.
Yeah,
that was a big keyboard song.
Yeah,
Craig Gruber mentioned he brought this song in, but the breakdown where it slows down, I guess that was written by the rest of the band after he brought it in. I even found a forum post from his brother saying that, I remember hearing Die Young when we were kids. So it's interesting. I do believe he wrote it.
This one was the one where the bass sounded the least like Geezer, I guess.
I still think it's him playing.
But I think
But I do believe he probably took the bass line.
Yeah. Maybe, I don't think he did it on purpose, but I think he did.
Because there are sections where, like, Geezer Butler does this, like, leady bass type of thing, like, to accent certain points, and it's all over the song, like, especially in the jammier part. So
it still sounds like Geezer.
Yeah.
It's distinct style.
yeah, I think it's him, but I do think that Craig Gruber wrote the song.
Interesting. It is like the least Black Sabbath sounding song on an album of non-Black Sabbath sounding songs.
Yeah. Oh, I also really liked Dio's breath control at the end when he was kind of spitting out Dion. Yeah. Dion. Yeah.
I can see a hardcore punk band doing this song.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, probably my favorite on the side.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, absolutely my favorite on the side.
Yeah. Fucking awesome. Next one.
The one I didn't like.
Me too.
I liked it. I liked this song. Walk Away.
I don't think it fit on the album. But it sounded more like
How does it feel to be so wrong there, Clayton?
I just didn't realize that your no taste was infectious. Everybody
I thought it sounded more like a hard rock, cock rock type thing than heavy metal.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like I wouldn't, I don't think it's like my favorite song on the album or anything, but I liked it. And there was a great riff in it. The breakdown riff was a great riff.
It didn't fit.
I could see Ozzy singing a sludgier version of this song.
Yeah, I could see this being an Ozzy solo song, surprisingly.
I could see this being done by a wannabe Ozzy band.
I could see that. I could see that.
I could see this
like
being like a Megaton band. So.
Yeah, I could see a Megaton. Somebody like a Megaton doing that.
I don't see Megaton playing this song.
I don't see Megaton playing this song either.
Maybe Valley of Shadows.
Maybe a Megaton type band.
Yeah.
Steve, do you know any?
I did once.
I wouldn't skip it on every listen, but I might skip it on some listens. Is kind of my thought.
Yeah, I don't know. The thing is it's not like so egregious that I would skip it probably because
you just wouldn't pay attention to it.
Yeah,
it'd probably be one I would zone out when I was listening.
It's not a song I would sit in the garage to finish.
Yeah. If I was driving and I had it on this, yeah.
If I was driving, couple beers deep, it's going on, dude.
This is one I would walk away.
Yeah, but you said
fucker.
But you said Tony didn't like it.
I'm not certain if that's just a forum rumor that I saw or if I saw that in an interview. So I'll just say I read somewhere somebody said that Tony didn't like this song.
Do they play this one live when they play As Heaven and Hell?
I don't think they did. I'd have to look that up, but
it's not on Live Evil.
No, but I wonder if it's on one of the. I'm curious. Oh, I gotta.
Talking about album covers, Live Evil, horrible album cover.
Yeah,
horrible. That's
what if we just did literal drawings of every song? It's a war pig. Yeah.
Get it?
Yeah.
No.
It's a pig in an obby costume. Get it? The kids will love it.
I'll have to look that one up.
Oh, do you not know what it looks like? It's bad.
It's bad. It's the worst. It's the worst Sabbath album cover.
Nope, they never did this song. I don't think anyway. It's not on
not on a release.
Yeah. Nor Wishing Well, but they did do Lady Evil. But yeah, pretty average song.
Yeah.
Could be worse.
It's a 7 out of 10 song.
Yeah.
On a 9 out of 10 album.
Jake Duncan will give it a 1 out of 2, probably.
I would give it a 0 out of 2.
But the album does redeem itself, so...
With the Doomia song on the album, Lonely is the Word.
It sounds like a Bowie title.
Mm-hmm.
But the opening riff sounded like Iggy and the Stooges, so... But then it became its own thing once the whole song kicked in.
Oh my god, that's terrible.
He's looking at the Live Evil. He's looking at the Live Evil album.
Like I said,
that is fucking awful.
Yeah, it's the worst album cover that Sabbath ever put out.
Get it?
Yeah.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I don't think it's that bad, but
What the fuck? Never mind. You have taste.
Yeah.
Steve, I don't know anymore.
Yeah.
Hey, it hit number 37, so the album, some people have bad taste and picked it up.
The album's not bad.
The album's fine. The cover just sucks.
bad.
Yeah.
God, that's terrible.
Sorry for that tangent.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought this was a great closer. Like, this was my second favorite on the side. Maybe third or fourth on the album. Depends on what how the mood will hit me, I think. But yeah.
Yeah. I love this song. I love this record. This is a great closer.
I said sick opening riff. I like the opening riff. I like how it ended too. Like I was a fade out with the like soloing and stuff. That was very reminiscent of like Black Sabbath self-titled.
Yeah.
If any songs remind me of the original lineup on this album, it'd be that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then like I liked how the synth kind of really stood out at the end, but there was also like a last bass section during the synth fade out that was the one that sounded the least like it was played by Geezer. So what if it was just like, give the other guy a little chance to shine in the fade out.
What if there's actually a mysterious third party that played bass on it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's Jeff Nichols.
Jeff Nichols played all of it.
Yeah.
I think I even saw people with that rumor too. So,
really?
Yeah.
Jeff Nichols, secret bass player.
I wonder if he did come in some of the sessions though, like while they like
he did.
He was in some of the songwriting sessions.
He
So was Dio.
definitely-
Dio did some bass in the songwriting sessions. And as we know from Elf, he is a bass player. And
There you
a
go.
pretty good one at that.
Did they call it Elf because he's so small?
Well, the
No, they
band
called
is
it
pretty
Hobbit.
whimsical.
Yeah, they called it Hobbit because he's no, I don't know. Yeah, he does look kind of like a hobbit.
Well, I will say, Don Arden managed this band, and the first thing he said when he found out that they replaced Ozzy with Dio is, quote, "A midget can't front Black Sabbath."
Turns out,
He, small man with a voice that can move mountains.
yeah,
R.I.P. to the great.
yeah. Like I think he did a great job singing. I don't think it sounds like classic Black Sabbath, but it revitalized the band. The band wouldn't be as big as it was, and it's a good album on its own. It's just a different era.
I mean, I can tell they were really trying not to sound like original Black Sabbath. Like they wanted to write darker stuff. Like I know that the early Black Sabbath stuff, is quote unquote dark, but this felt like actually dark, like metal kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Well,
and it's like that first album only has 2 like devil songs anyway.
yeah, they really more sing about a healthy fear of the devil than the devil itself.
Yeah.
But this one felt like this could be evil.
This album is...
This was the actual Black Sabbath album that was evil. This is the album that everybody in the 70s thought Black Sabbath sounded like.
Yeah.
This album's one of my favorites, but yeah, when I'm thinking I want to listen to Black Sabbath, this is not one I typically grab. It's usually like, oh, I'm in the mood for Dio, I'll grab this one, Mm-hmm. It's great. It's just not really the same style and genre as any of the previous albums.
Yeah, like I said, it is how I kind of remembered it. It is more of an 80s sounding metal than it is like a timeless metal that I associate with Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
Production's great.
Yeah, the production
Yeah.
is
Sounds
it's
great.
like crystal clear. Like I did notice that Iommi's guitar sounds a little like it cuts through the mix really well, and like
So he...
Super C.
2 things I think changed his sound on this album. One, his guitar tech threw away his treble booster, which was a huge part of his original sound. And I don't think they made them, and they were hard to find, so you couldn't find another one. The other thing is he went back to E-flat tuning rather than the C tuning.
C tuning.
Or the
yeah, that
C-flat
makes
tuning he was
sense.
doing on...
Yeah, so yeah, his tone was like really like crisp, I should say, is kind of what I'm
Yeah.
like. All the instruments sounded really, there was a lot of good separation. Like you could hear the bass like really well, you could hear the guitar really well. The only thing you really couldn't hear was the fucking keyboard.
Yeah, but it felt like they were pushed to the back of the mix
Yeah.
rather than
On purpose.
yeah.
It's like Lars turning down the bass and Justice for All.
Yeah.
There's no bass in this
If we
album.
turn Nichols down low enough, we don't have to get drum drawn on the back.
Yeah.
We don't have to be a gay keyboard band.
All right.
Well, final thoughts?
Yeah. Great album.
Yeah.
9 out of 10. Not to be overlooked.
Yeah.
Not to be
I give
understated.
it a solid B plus.
B+.
Yeah, B plus A minus in that general range. So yeah, in the realm that both of you are putting it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd put it in the S tier.
There you go. We should have all had a different rating system.
Yeah. Everybody gets their own rating system.
I give it 3 bags of popcorn and 2 sodas.
I just last podcast I was like, let's do a rating system, and they were like, yeah, sure, okay. And I just said, and they're like, what would be S tier? And I said like things that are like, that's the God tier.
Put it at code level snake. That's my rating. Yeah. Code level snake. What is that, good or bad? Who knows?
Yeah. See, to me, like Black Sabbath self-titled, that's S tier.
Yeah.
We listened to that together a few weeks ago, and
Sean, not for the podcast, just to listen to it. Yeah.
Sean has this awesome version of it where it's what's the gimmick on that one?
It was remastered by this one guy. His name's Kevin Gray. It's a Rhino High Fidelity.
Yeah,
and
I should buy that. I really should have that in my collection.
And it's like $40, and it's like, and it's really like high quality. It's remastered from analog tapes, and like what he does on the mastering is like he really like, you can hear like all those little details that you can't really hear on some of the more recent mixes of it and stuff.
I've listened to that album a million times, and I was hearing things that I had never heard before.
You can hear the small mistakes that make a song better.
Yeah. I could hear a lot more detail on the hi-hat, for instance.
And like you could hear like some of the tambourine. Like you could actually hear like his fingers tapping on the tambourine and stuff like that. Yeah. It's a great... I love the Rhino High Fidelity because the mastering engineer does like all of them. I have Stooges self-titled and Funhouse in the Rhino High Fidelity, and Funhouse sounds fucking awesome, by the way. You need to come over and listen to that, since that's like one of your S tier.
That might be my favorite album.
We should do a bonus episode where we listen to it again.
Yeah.
With Sean.
And then
if we ever do a live show.
Yeah, and then so it's like my favorite series. They did the whole Doors series,
even the post Morrison.
No, just the Morrison.
No, just the six albums of the Doors, and those sound fucking awesome. Even fucking the Soft Parade, which is like no one's favorite album.
It has its moments though. Yeah. But it's not my favorite by them either.
But it's better than I think people give it credit for.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, like all the Morrison ones are at the very least good.
Yeah. Actually, I think the weakest one is Morrison Hotel. Because that's the one where I think they like put some like of the like songs that are like, okay, these were like outtakes from other albums when we're throwing it on Morrison Hotel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
Sorry, I can see you getting impatient. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So this was side 1, side B. Clayton, have any pluggables?
Check out my sludge band, Manson Lamps.
Nice. Yeah. I think you've said that one before, but I still love that.
Themed. That's about it, though.
Yeah.
All right, and then you can check out the rest of us in a band called the Alliterates. There's a bunch of stuff. You can check it out after the theme song, how to find all that stuff, or in the description. And that's it.
Catch you on the flip side.
Fuck off. Bye.
Side 1, Side B is a Floof Goof Studios production. Head on over to killrockmusic.com, that's KILRAVOCK music.com, to check out our post-punk band, The Alliterates, and Steve's solo project, Killrock. You can also check out Steve and Dave's experimental project, Lucid Fugue, where the theme song comes from, at lucidfugue.bandcamp.com. You can also check out Dave's old band, Gong Farmer, at gongfarmer.bandcamp.com, spelled GONGFERMOUR. You can find each of us on various social media platforms. Check out the description for more information. Thanks.
Lick my love pump.
This music really makes me hate the centralized bank.
Sunday morning.
All hail to Sean.
All hail to Sean.
Don't forget to subscribe to the official Doctor Who YouTube channel.
Doctor Who. Hey, the TARDIS.
What the hell was that?
What the hell was that?
What the fuck was that?
Puskadu is German, yeah. Not really.
No, they're from Minnesota. 1, 2, XU.
How does it feel? Ziggy, help me!
This ain't your papa's Black Sabbath. We ain't dinosaurs now.